Whew. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday morning and I am struggling to stay awake. It was almost just y'all and Jesus this morning, to be honest with you. I'm so sleepy, I'm trying to get the cobwebs out. Hey, Miss Dorian, good morning. I am struggling trying to get the cobwebs out this morning. It was difficult to get up, but I made a commitment to be here. And I wanted to make sure that I honored my commitment because some of you guys are setting your alarms just to meet me here. So I wanted to make sure that I did what I said I was going to do. So I could not sleep in this morning. As you come in, tag a friend and share the replay. If you are catching me on the replay, share the broadcast. If you are catching me live, my name is Dee Johnson. I am the creator and founder of Wife Nation. If you have not joined the nation and you're a wife or a future wife, then you need to go ahead and come on over and join Wife Nation so you can get your entire relationship and married life together. You can find me here Monday through Wednesday morning, 6 a.m. Central Time, where I'll be giving you a word on marriages and relationships because it is time for us to grow. It is time for us to build. It's time for us to seek more, to be more, to have more in our marriages. And we need to learn how to do it right. We need to learn how to avoid some of the pitfalls. We need to learn how to, not going in circles, wasting our time like I did for many years in my marriage, let my marriage suffer because I didn't know any better. I was doing the best that I best that I could. So the Bible tells us that people perish for lack of knowledge. So I'm here to give you some of this relationship knowledge. I want you to have the information that you need. I want you to avoid marital mistakes that I made. I want you to have your happily ever after a lot sooner than I got mine. That's the bottom line. I show up here Monday through Wednesday, and then I'm teaching a free marriage class every Wednesday night in my Wife Nation group because I want you to have your happily ever after a lot sooner than I got mine. I don't want you to make the same mistakes that keep you stuck, frustrated, depressed, and on the verge of divorce like I did. Good morning, Deandra. I don't want you to feel like there's no way out. I don't want you to feel like you're trapped. I don't want you to feel like their marriage is hopeless and there is no light at the end of the tunnel. I promise you, if my marriage can shift and make a 360, I promise you there is hope for your marriage. I promise you, you do not have to seek divorce. I promise you that God is able to turn all of it around and work everything out for your good. But there's work that needs to be done. So I show up Monday through Wednesday, 6 a.m. Central Time to help you with some of that work. I show up every Wednesday night in my Wife Nation group in our Wife Up Wednesday class to help them do their work. There is work to be done, but you can definitely get to the other side of it if you are willing to face what is going on. So my question this morning is, as we begin today's broadcast, would you want to be in a relationship with you? I love you too, Camille. Hey, Lauren. Would you want to be in a relationship with you? And I need you to be real honest about this. None of those fluff answers about how you're career oriented and, how you're faithful and loyal. All those things are wonderful. All those things are necessary. All those things are needed. But my question is, would you want to be in a relationship with you? Would you want you as the life partner? What are you offering in terms of spiritual growth in this relationship and development? What are you offering in terms of building a future with your spouse? Would you want to be in a relationship with you? If you spoke to yourself the way you speak to your life partner, would you want to be in a relationship with you? If you treated yourself the way you treat your life partner or your future partner, would you want to be in a relationship with you? If you had the mentality of being selfish, would you want to be in a relationship with you? And if we're honest, and I mean real honest, not giving any of those fluff answers, most of the times people wouldn't want to be in a relationship with themselves, but they get upset because their men don't want them. They have their feelings hurt because their men don't want them. They're ready to jump ship because their men doesn't want them. Some of us are just one apology away from getting our relationships on track. Some of us need to go seek healing from a counselor and help with a counselor to get our relationships on track. You wouldn't want to be in a relationship with the type of woman you are, but your feelings are hurt because your husband don't want you either. Y'all didn't think this was going to be a feel-good mission, did you? I'm a straight shooter. Let's cut to the chase. You have your feelings hurt because your man is turned off by your disrespectful behavior, by your bad attitude, by your moodiness, by your temperament, by your judgmental ways. But you wouldn't want that in a relationship either. So my question to you, are you the type of partner that someone would want to be in a relationship with? Or are you expecting your partner to meet all of your needs, to do all the things that you want them to do for you without having to get out of your own comfort zone? Because a lot of us will go to great lengths. I'm speaking for me as a former wife who was like this. I would go to great lengths to preserve my ideas, to preserve my behavior, to preserve my thought life, to preserve the way I wanted to do things. I wasn't budging. I wasn't compromising. I wasn't trying to meet his needs. I wasn't trying to meet him halfway. I wanted everything on my terms, and my marriage suffered year after year after year after year. Was he innocent? No. He brought his own stuff to the table, but I'm talking about me as I'm taking responsibility for self. As I'm taking responsibility for self and what I brought to the table, what is it that I was doing that was pushing him away and that was damaging our relationship? Yes, I was career focused. Yes, I was driven. Yes, I was headstrong. Yes, I was a good mother. Yes, 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 yes. I was loyal and faithful and all of those wonderful things. But I talked to him like he was somebody on the street whenever the mood hit me, without regard to his feelings, without regard to his position in my life as a husband, without regard for any of that. It didn't matter because I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm going to do things the way that I want done, and you're just going to have to deal with it and suck it up. How does that work in a relationship? It doesn't. It doesn't work in a relationship. We've been married almost 16 years together, 20 years. It doesn't work in a relationship. And my relationship was not working. It wasn't until God yanked my chain and really put a mirror in front of me, and he would not let me get out of that mirror. He continued to show me me. Some of y'all need to let God put you in front of a mirror so he can show you what your husband is really dealing with. He was showing that my husband has been walking on eggshell because he didn't want to make me upset because it was just going to go down a path that he wasn't ready to go down. Can you imagine being in a relationship with somebody and you walking on eggshells just to prevent an argument, prevent them from going off? How much stress that would put on the relationship, how much stress that would put on the marriage, how much stress that would put on your life partner. Some of you all are exactly who I used to be. Miss Lauren said, that's me. Miss Dorian said, I'll confess I ain't been very nice. So if you won't want to be in a relationship with the type of person you are, what does that say? That means that changes have to be made, and they have to be made immediately. You want your marriage to work right now, or you want to keep preserving your ways of doing things? Do you want your marriage to grow and flourish and heal right now, or do you just want to keep doing it your way? One of the things that God asked me or told me, he said, God told me, he said, D, either I'll be your God or you can be your God, but we both ain't going to take the same position. And I thought I was letting him be my God. I thought I was letting him take the lead in my relationship. I thought that I was giving him free reign to help my relationship heal, but I was meddling in God's business. I was trying to, help God by telling my husband, making him feel guilty. I was helping God by bringing up certain things that I didn't have any business bringing up. I was trying to help God by manipulating my husband and trying to get him to see it my way. I was helping God with my husband because God needed my help. Anybody guilty? Trying to help God with your husband and God didn't ask you for your help? Because you've heard me say this before, God is a parent first. He knows your husband's strengths. He knows his weaknesses. He knows his hurts. He knows his wounds. He knows what it's going to take to get your husband to transition, to transform, to become everything that he created and designed him to be. And he is a parent that doesn't need you to tell him how to parent his child. As a parent, you would be upset and offended if someone came along and told you there's a better way to parent your child than that, right? That you're not doing it right, God. You're not moving fast enough. You need to be looking over here at what he's doing over there, God. Actually, let me help you out. See, God told me to tell you, or when I was praying, the Spirit told me, or why don't you turn it on this channel? This preacher is talking about something that you need to hear. That's when we're helping God out without God's permission. Lauren said, I'm at her front door this morning. I'm at a lot of people's front door this morning. And I understand it because that's who I was. That's who I was. I was a great catch on paper. In reality, I was hell to deal with. I was too moody. My attitude was bad. I have a disrespectful tongue and demeanor, and had the nerve to be upset because my husband was turned off by it. Well, you're supposed to love me unconditionally. You're supposed to love everything about me. I'm your wife. I mean, yeah, but it's hard to love and be close to someone and try to meet their needs when they're constantly judging you, badgering you, cursing you out, disrespecting you, making you feel like you're inadequate in some way, just so they can get their point across. And a lot of us have taken that position in our marriage, and we've taken that position and we're dissatisfied, and our husbands are gone. Our husbands are doing other things and have their focuses other places. And now we're trying to get him back. Getting back starts with, number one, letting God be God. Number two, letting God put a mirror in front of you and refusing to push the mirror away and let him expose the areas of your life that you need to not only have exposed, but you need to have healed and delivered from. That's how we start getting it on track. I mean, God put me through it. He put me through it to the point where I was like, I'm tired of learning life lessons. Can you go talk to your son about some of the life lessons he needs to learn? I'm tired of being the one that has to change. I'm tired of being the one that has to apologize. I'm tired of being the one that has to be understanding. I'm tired of being the one that has to pray. I'm tired of being the one that has to fast. I'm tired of being the one that has to be supportive. What about me, God? So God's question again was, do you want to be God in this situation, or you want me to be God in this situation? And I'll tell you, it broke me. It broke my pride. It broke my ego. It broke my feelings. It broke off all my bad habits, because at some point, if you know you're going to stay because God told you to stay, because you want your relationship to work, you're either going to go down the same path that have not been working, that's causing you anxiety attacks, causing you depression, causing you to cry in your shower in your car, or you're going to surrender. Eventually, I got tired enough of crying that I just surrendered. Not my will, Lord, but thy will be done. What would you have me do in this situation? Because my ways are not working. I only wish that I had surrendered sooner in my marriage. And notice I'm talking about my behavior. Notice I'm talking about the changes I needed to make. God was responsible for my husband. In the same way that God was parenting me, I had to trust that he was parenting my husband, even if I didn't see the evidence right in front of me. Even if I didn't see the changes that I thought I wanted to see in the moment that I wanted to see them. I had to trust that as God was parenting me, as God was changing me, as God was healing me and delivering me and teaching me about myself and the things I needed to change, I had to just trust that even though I didn't see the evidence of my husband transforming, I had to trust that God was transforming him too. What choice did I have? I was going to stay in the marriage, but I couldn't stay in the marriage focused on all the things that my husband wasn't doing, how he wasn't growing, that he was growing too slow, that he was getting it, he wasn't getting it. That was not my responsibility. That was God's responsibility. I just had to step back and deal with me on my stuff. I had to step back and let God heal me on my stuff. I had to step back and say, okay, God, this is an area of concern. My mouth is poisonous. My mouth is not yielding me the results that I want in my relationship. So I need to step back and I need to deal with it. And it takes practice, ladies. I don't want you to think that this happened overnight. It was a series of months, and I dare to say even years, to get this stuff on track. When you've been using your mouth to be disrespectful and dishonoring and saying whatever you want to say and all of that stuff for so many years, it takes a lot of practice to rein that thing in. When you're used to having one type of interaction with your spouse for years and years and years, and you're trying to change that, it takes a lot of practice and implementation to get it right. And you have to fine tune it, and then you mess up and you go back to your old previous ways, and then you have to come back and get it right and apologize and get back on track and build that trust again. It takes a lot of practice, intentionality, and work. But if you are willing to do the work, if you're willing to learn and grow and change and become everything that God has asked you to become, and if you're willing to do it his way, you can have the results that you want. The same man that I thought we were going to divorce, that we sought divorce 3 times, now teaches marriage classes with me. Tell me that that ain't a testimony. The man who was miserable being married to me and the man that I was begging God to release me from now teaches marriage classes with me. Can I get an amen? How many of you all want some type of testimony like that? It may not be that y'all teach your marriage classes together, but that y'all are in alignment, that y'all are now on the same page. Now y'all are walking the same paths together, hand in hand, as opposed to being enemies, trying to see who's going to win, who's going to get the upper hand. How many of you all want a testimony like that? How many of you all, want to breathe life into this dead marriage? How many of you all need to breathe life into this dead marriage? How many of you all want to understand what it takes to go from brokenness in a marriage, on the verge of divorce in a marriage, to a happily ever after? Nobody wants to be miserable while you're married. Nobody wants to be in a relationship where you are functioning like roommates. For my future wives, don't you want to understand what you need to avoid before you get married? Don't you want to understand how this marriage things work before you get married? Don't you want to understand how to prevent things like what I described in my marriage from happening to yours? I don't see anybody saying anything, but I'm just, that wasn't a rhetorical question. I mean, it can be, you can answer it within yourself. So the question is, what are you going to do so that you can become the type of person that you want to be in a relationship with? What are you going to do so that you can become the type of person that you want to be in a relationship with? What work are you willing to do? What changes are you willing to make? Are you willing to make changes, or are you going to continue to struggle? Because some of us have been struggling in our marriage since 2016. Some of us have been struggling in our marriage in 2013. Some of us have been struggling in our marriage and we just got married. Some of us are struggling in our relationship as we're thinking about marrying this person. And we need to find some stuff out. We need to learn some stuff. We need to grow. We need to change. We need everything to be right within us. We need to learn as much as we need to learn so that we don't have to wander around the wilderness for 40 years like the Israelites did. God told them there was a promised land, but they wanted to get there their way. They wanted to take their time. They had certain mindsets that wouldn't allow them to enter the promised land. They kept going around in this circle for 40 years, wandering around the wilderness, blind and lost. And some of us are wandering around our marriage wilderness, blind and lost. If you're ready to be found, I got something for you. The link is in the comment section. Becoming your husband's mistress. Now, before you get all in a tizzy, mistress is not what the world has taught us she is or who she is. The mistress is the Proverbs 31 woman. God gave me that title. He told me, I need you to learn your husband. I need you to study this mistress thing. I need you to understand how she operates, how she moves, how she positions herself, how she thinks, so that you can get your marriage on track. And so that's what I'm going to teach you. If you want to go from the verge of divorce to a happily ever after, if you're a future wife and you're thinking about getting married and you want to get married and you want to avoid some of the marital pitfalls, this class is for you. If your marriage is already in a great place and you just want to keep investing in your marriage, investing in yourself, then this class is for you. Becoming your husband's mistress is online. You don't have to go anywhere but in your living room or have your phone with you. So on February the 8th, replays are available if you cannot attend it live. Last year, I think we had almost 50 women there. Go on my feed and look at all the testimonials, and I'll keep posting them. I don't play when it comes to this marriage thing because I remember that pain. I don't play when it comes to the matters of the heart because I remember that pain. I remember being desperate. I remember being mad at God for making me stay. I remember being in a place where I wanted my husband to want me. I remember being in a place where I wanted to want him. I wanted the marriage to work. We don't get married to walk down the aisles of divorce. We don't get married just to get separated. We don't get married just to fight each other day in and day out. And we're just not doing that this year. We have been in this relationship for far too long. We've invested far too much. We have done all of these things over the years. We're not going to just walk away without giving it everything that we have. We're not going to just throw it away, put it on the side like it doesn't matter, put it on the back burner as if it's not a priority. Those days are over. We are going to get the marriages that God wants us to have. We're going to get the marriages that we have dreamed of. We're going to get the relationships with our husbands that we once envisioned. We're not going to give up on that dream. God wants you to fight for your marriage, and he positioned me here at this time, in this place, in this season to help you with that. All you got to do is show up. I show up Monday through Wednesday right here at 6 a.m. to help you. I show up in my Wife Nation group every day, and I show up on Wednesdays to teach you another class, to bring in other relationship experts. And this is another way that I'm showing up. I'm showing up on a 2-hour summit, online summit with 2 other relationship experts. We have Kim McQuitty of Wife Ready. She teaches wives how to prepare for marriage. I have Rachel Smith of Transformed Wife, where she's going to be talking about how to overcome trust issues, how to overcome infidelity in your relationship, and seeking God. And then I'm going to come in with Becoming Your Husband's Mistress, teaching you what the mistress is, the power and the positioning of a mistress, and how you're supposed to use your God-given influence to get the marriage that you want. All you got to do is show up. All you got to do is invest. And what kills me is people will spend $10,000 on a wedding, but won't spend $100 to keep the marriage together. That's too much money. They spend $10,000, $5,000 getting married, but they think it costs too much money to spend $100 to keep the marriage together or get the marriage on track. That's what I deal with. That's what I'm up against. I'm just saying. 2-hour online summit with 3 relationship experts. I'm a psychotherapist. I'm a relationship strategist. I've been in this game teaching people and teaching women for 15 years. I'm licensed in 2 states. You spend all that money getting married, and you won't spend $100 to keep the marriage together or to figure out how to keep the marriage together or get the marriage on track, because that's too much. And that's why the divorce rate is so high, because we have the happily ever after in mind, but we don't picture it past the wedding day. You spent more than $100 on your wedding cake. I just want to put that out there. How much is a marriage certificate? Like $30, $40? Your wedding dress was probably $2,000. The food was the biggest of the budget. Don't be one of those women that a $99 summit to help you strengthen, learn how to be married, get healed in your marriage, get your marriage on track for $99 is too much, but you spent all of that other money on the wedding day that only lasted a few hours. So if you're ready to join me and the other relationship experts at our online summit, click the link and sign up today. Just click the link. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't, I got to think about it. You will move mountains if your children said they needed $99 for some activity, if they needed for football practice or band camp or cheerleading practice. Y'all going into debt trying to keep all of these children and all of these activities, trying to get them to the NFL, trying to get them to be a cheerleader, but you got to think about a $99 class for your marriage. I just want you to ponder that. And if that's you, you definitely need to be in that class. So I'm going to leave the link there. I hope to see you on February the 8th. Tomorrow, you can meet me here again in the morning at 6 a.m. And if you are a wife or a future wife, I encourage you to join our Wife Nation Facebook group, because tomorrow night, I'm also going to have a relationship and marriage class that I'm going to teach. So I'm here to invest in you. All you got to do is show up. So that's my topic for today. I thank you all for joining me again. Tag a friend, share this broadcast. We need as many women getting there happily ever after as possible. We need as many marriages to be healed as possible. We need more growth. We need, people who want to be married. We need to have marriage as cool again. Marriage needs to be cool again. It hasn't become, it's been a long time since marriage has been cool. I'm on a mission to make marriage cool again. My husband's on a mission to make marriage cool again. So y'all share this with your friends. Share this on your timeline. Tag a friend. Let them know that we're here. And all they got to do is show up. So I'll see y'all tomorrow morning, ladies.